that's my question.
No comment.
Go ahead, Mr. Williams.
You already know that's my question.
Let your husband answer.
No, it's important to know who you are because, I mean, it's your right. I mean, you should know who you are, and you should know who you are in God.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's a difference between I know who I am. I got, my name is Algie Poole III. I just turned 33 years old. You said it right? Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. It's only 3 days you got to remember, birthday, anniversary, and holiday, Valentine's Day. But, yeah, I know who I am. I know I'm a musician, I know I'm this, but when it comes down to who I am in God, and knowing what I'm worth, what I can present, what I can do, then I can say, okay, now I can take care of somebody else. Because I know I can handle it. When the situation comes about and they put in your lap, see, you would know if you were a real man. If your wife come to you, say, hey, baby, this is what we got coming to the house. What's the decision? Now, if you never took a business class, you didn't pay attention in your math class,
Okay.
you didn't understand how it works to pay bills on time, and you thought you was a man, that's going to really show you if you're a true man. Because the decision you will make it together. The decision you will make, you say, hey, this is how we do it. So knowing who I am, what I'm worth, what I'm able to accomplish, what I'm able to do is important. Because once you know who you are, nobody can tell you any different.
Amen.
Once you decide, this is who I am, and I will stay this way, come hell or high water. There's been plenty of time. Me and my wife have conversations. We have discussions. We even have arguments. But once I knew who I was, Rika, in God, I looked at my wife. I looked at my wife, I said, hey, hold up.
All right, now.
Yes, sir.
Because, and the thing was, it wasn't I was doing it aggressively. I wasn't doing it. And I just say, hey, hold up.
Yeah.
Because you tell your man you want him to be the head of the household.
Yeah.
That'll be.
Come on now.
Take the shoes from him.
Yeah. Come
You
on.
tell your man you want him to provide, to protect, to love, and then you take it from him.
Yeah.
And then you get upset when he doesn't do his job.
Amen.
But you just fired him from his job.
Amen. You better preach, Pastor Poole.
So knowing who you are in God, knowing who you are, what you can provide, is very valuable, especially in our young men. Let me tell you one thing, I'm going to let them handle it. Look, as a young man, live your life your age.
Thank
You
you.
are a teenager.
Thank you.
You are a student in high school. Your job is to go to school, get them good grades, every now and then have fun, and that's it. Stop trying to be a grown man in a little man body. Because when the time comes to be a grown man, you still got this little man mentality. You can't make that decision when it's time to sign that contract. And I tell the kids, I used to work with kids in an aftercare program. I look at them like, hey man, you a little man. I tell my son, you are 10 years old. Stop trying to act DJ age. Because you don't want to have DJ consequences when it comes around.
Can you say that again, please?
All right now.
Stop trying to act DJ age. You are 10 years old. Because the consequences that DJ had, you cannot handle when you are 10 years old. So knowing what you're worth, knowing who you are, and acting like it is very valuable in any relationship or in life.
Amen.
I'll say for me, and this is what I say to some of my clients and some of my mentees, that once I stopped talking and started listening, I found out what it was, and I was listening to God.
Amen.
Once I remove all this stuff that I'm trying to figure out myself and just ask God, who am I? What did you put me on this earth to do?
Amen.
What is my purpose? And I became more comfortable in doing the things that I'm doing now. Like at the beginning, it was like, well, I don't know if this is really me. Let me just hold off on putting this word out, holding off on helping because it's coming from a broken place. But God said, it's okay. You're listening to me. So whenever I do, I say, it's not me. You're listening to God. He's just using me to speak. He's just using me to teach. He's using me to provide therapy. So I became a man when I looked to the man above and said, teach me. Because I'm listening, I'm learning. I'm representing you. As I walk up, use me, God. Use me. This is not me. And I use that, and I said it on my videos. Don't come here looking for love. Just look for this word because this is God. I want you to fall in love with God.
Right.
That's all.
All right now.
Amen. Praise God. So, amen. And that's wisdom too. And that's, a lot of times we hear about men and their ego. So thank God we have a panelist that are not, egotistical, like, well, he said that, my folks come kill it right now with this. Like, no, it's not about that. So, our next question. Someone says here, what are you doing with your platform to hold men accountable? Women are held to a higher standard, but what about the men? Go ahead, John.
Y'all really, they trying to stone me. Okay, here it is.
Oh, boy.
I think, personally, this is just me. I think I spend a lot of time checking men for not being men. This is me personally on my platform. The majority of what I post, the majority of what I do, checks men for not being men. Very few times I've had a few sisters that I said, check some of the sisters, they were not too happy with me. But on my platform, at least, I spend a lot of time, and I want to say 90% of my posts, a lot of it spend time checking men for not being men. So I hold men accountable, and I have a good amount of male followers who tell me I couldn't stand you in the beginning. All right, but I've learned to respect you. You've helped me a lot. And so I think, at least for me, I think I spend a lot of time checking men for not being men and holding them accountable. As men of them had helped, they held me accountable.
Russia?
Same thing.
Pastor Poole?
I live a lifestyle.
Hey.
It was just the other day, I was at, I work at night at Pizza Hut as a side hustle. And because I know Pastor Mary was saying the proof is in the pudding. But I live a lifestyle. And I was passing out the flyer, I was promoting Broken Beauty, I was trying to get some of my good friends to help out in the musician department. And I found out one of my good friends at my job, he plays keyboard. So like, we having, laughing, joking, kicking it. And then I sent him the flyer for his wife to come out, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna try. And then just the other day, he had posted, said, hey man, I really looked at this flyer, it said Pastor Poole. He said, that's all right. I said, yeah, I'm a pastor and everything. He was like, okay. I never let my title change who I was.
Amen.
I live a lifestyle. If I can show another man, hey, you can have fun, you can be saved, you can have a successful marriage, and be real with this thing, and have issues, but still come out of that issues. There's never been a time where I met someone, and once they found out, oh, I'm a pastor, it changed. They say, you a pastor? They tell me my wife all the time, y'all ain't no normal pastors. Y'all act totally different. Y'all laugh, y'all joke, y'all have fun, y'all go to parties, y'all dance, y'all get on people's nerves. Y'all the unorthodox type. Yeah. Because in order to reach souls, in order to get people saved, healed, you got to be unorthodox.
Right.
People have seen the normal so long. So I live a lifestyle. And by me living a true lifestyle and holding, just like John and Bashe say, holding men accountable for their actions, not too many people gonna really follow you. Because they don't want to be unlit.
Right.
They don't want to be true. Just like Sharita said, the egos come into play. So when another man telling another man, a real man telling the hey man, straighten up and fly right, if he's ready to receive it, he'll do that. So it's a blessing that John and Bashe have that attention, that audience, this platform to let other men see, hey, there's other men in other states, in other cities that are doing these things successfully, and they are black and saved.
Amen.
There's a
Amen.
lifestyle you gotta live.
All right.
Amen. Amen. Great. Next question. How can a mom help her son see girls in the right way, knowing their hormones are going crazy?
Ask that one more time.
Yes. How can a mom help her son see girls in the right way, knowing that their hormones are going crazy?
Wow, I feel like I know who wrote that.
You discerning the spirit?
I think in the home we have to have serious conversations. We have to have real conversations. We don't need to be learning from the street.
Right.
We don't need to be learning from our homeboys what it looks like and what we need to do with our emotions. And I think you guys mentioned that earlier. You know, when we're in church, we're so safe with our words, and you know, you can't do certain things, don't do it. But that's not reality when you step outside the doors, because church is just Sunday. You might have a Wednesday night, but what's happening the rest of the days of the week? Who is leading us? So as a mom, just to be honest,
Right.
you know, be clear. You know, we talk about the good and the bad of relationships. We talk about the consequences of early hormonal use. That's what I say.
I like that.
Addressing those hormones and saying that I want to see where this takes me. And that's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
You know, because you get caught up. Because, you know, as a man, as a boy, you know, we have emotions, and our hormones are a little bit different. Like the first time we jump out and test the waters, we're like, somebody took our innocence from us. Yeah. First time I lost my virginity, I didn't want to talk to anybody for 2 months because my innocence was taken from me. So now, you know, we're taught that that's a power move. That's what you're supposed to do. But no, that's my innocence. So we need to have these real conversations, because I didn't have anybody talking to me and telling me, no, you're not supposed to do that. We're not having these conversations, and it's our responsibility to talk to our kids.
Amen. John?
And I'll say for mother, I try to get a male figure to, I think for the mother, she can tell a man what women expect, what women want, but you have to get a male to really speak to another male when you start talking about things like that, when we're dealing with these hormones and issues that we're feeling these feelings and don't know what to do with it. And so we need another man to tell us, look, chill out, calm down a little bit. I know what you're feeling, but this is how you manage it. And somebody who can be very transparent and honest, this is where I messed up, this is what I did wrong, I don't want you to repeat what I did. I didn't handle this woman's heart properly. I didn't do this as I should have done it. But you have an opportunity to make a wrong right. So here's what you need to do. I tell women all the time, try to, I don't know, an uncle, someone that's trustworthy, a pastor, try to get a mentor for your sons. So oftentimes men do need that male voice that they can speak to, and somebody that can speak back into their lives and kind of help guide them through manhood, if you will. And so,
And I'll add to this, one of the things that I tell when, you know, there's a broken family, and I speak to fathers who aren't in their children's lives, and the son may be struggling. You know, I go to the father and I say, do you want your son to be in the position that you're in right now? What can he do differently? What time can you make up in the sense that, son, don't do this? Because this is the result. This broken relationship, this is me not being with you all the time, me and your mother fighting. This is the result of not doing it God's way. And if I have anything left in me, this is what I want to give to you. So like you said, being honest with your children and having that father. And you know, the mother, I know there's a lot of conflict and, you know, disruption between the arguing back and forth. And one of the things that a mother can say is that, do you want your son to be going through what we're going through? And having that, putting that responsibility on the father. Do you want your son to be going through what you're going through right now? Arguing with his mother over his child. Let's break these curses. Let's have real conversation for the sake of our children. And that's where it needs to start.
Pastor Cool?
I would say it's setting the standards. It was different when I came into Demetri and Shaquita's lives. And one of the ways I taught Demetric how to honor and respect a woman is I did the same thing my parents did. My dad, I was in the household. It was me and my dad and 4 women. So I saw my dad knock on the door. Even if it's him and my mom in the same room, my dad knocked on the door. Said, "Baby, you dressed?" He knocked on the bathroom door. He showed respect. He honored the woman. And when it came down to me coming into Demetric's and my wife's life, I told DJ, "Hey, you never go into a room without knocking on the door."
Where is she?
That's good. You never go into a room without knocking on the door, regardless who it is, because you want to show that person that's in that room that you understand that they might be unveiled or anything. I mean, you set the standard, and just like John and Vice say, if you don't have a male figure in your household, the first person that you really want to attach to or hold to or ask to mentor your son is another saved male figure, because they understand the rules and regulations, the dynamics of a male hormone. So they will show them the way, guide them down the right path, and let them know, hey, you're going to get some feelings every now and then. You're going to see women different types of ways. I tell my wife all the time, look, if I'm not home, you need to make sure, you know, you got everything on. Because my son is at the house. He's at an age now where his hormones are raging. Yeah, you might be his mama, but you are a woman. So therefore, if he sees this at home and thinks it's all right, he goes to somebody else's house, or he sees another female, he's going to think it's all right. And he's going to try to attack what he sees. Men we are beings that like to action. We like to test the water. So therefore, you have to set the standards. If you don't set the standards now, then if you have not set the standards now, start now.
Amen. So we're going to kind of switch it up a little bit. We have relationship advisors and relationship, speakers and all that good stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about some relationships in the love sector here. And so someone asked a question that says, what does dating as a Christian actually look like?
Yes.
I know celibacy is 100% for me, but after that, I'm not sure what dating actually really looks like. That's a real question.
I'm going to get rebuked for this, but I'm going to say it. I think Christians do dating worse than the world, and I'm going to tell you why. One, I think many of us oftentimes run into marriage because we're trying to avoid fornication.
Amen. Amen.
Two, I think we come into the dating scene with what I call spiritual mass. We're always trying to show people how deep we are.
Yeah.
And here you come talking about, I'm the head intercessor at the church. You speaking in tongues at the table. No.
Right.
You casting demons. Oh, I got the gift of this. I don't care what you. I want to know you. I want to get to know you.
Right.
Take this spiritual mask off, because we're not fasting 24/7. We get in the bedroom. I don't need you speaking in tongues. I need you using your tongue. You understand? So you got to. Forgive me.
Keep it real up in this house. Go ahead, sir.
All the children are gone. All the children are gone.
You better come ahead, sir.
All the children are gone. So, forgive me, saints. We never allow people to get to know the real us. And so we're dating, and we don't allow people to really get to know the real you. The real you. The spirituality is phenomenal, and that's inclusive. Don't get me wrong. That's inclusive. It's important that I know that you pray, that you love the Lord, that you read the Word. But I don't need you casting out demons in my filet mignon. It's not the time for that. I want to have a dialogue, a real conversation. Who are you underneath the spiritual mask? And oftentimes, I think that's where the friction come in. And so we get with people, and I hear brothers all the time that talk to me in private and be like, "She crazy, man. She is not saved for real." And vice versa. Vice versa. Vice versa. You hear women say, "Look, he ain't the man of God you think he was." And I'm like, what happened during the dating scene?
Right.
No one really got to know one another.
Right.
What we were doing was we had fun and we had this spiritual mass while we were doing it. I don't want to do that because I'm saved. And then you get married and people are like, I got the ring now, I'm going to be me. I'm going to do this. And so I think the fakeness causes us to date. I don't want to say incorrectly, but we don't date. We don't date authentically. That's a term that I'm looking for. And I think that's key. So I think that's one particular issue in the dating scene that I think believers, I think we mess up with.
Amen.
That's the issue.
Amen.
That's it. I don't think there's anything past that. I think that, you're not dating God. You know what I'm saying? You have your private conversations with God, and then come, let me see who you are.
Amen.
I want to meet you. I want to meet your name. I want to meet what you like, what you don't like. I don't want to meet the sermon that you had last Sunday. I went to church myself, so I don't need to hear yours again, because, right now I'm not in church. Let's talk. Yeah, please.
Thus saith the Lord.
Right. I want to laugh.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had some experiences.
Don't be deep when y'all dating, y'all, and getting married. Don't be deep.
Right. That's it. I like trap music every once in a while. I listen to old school hip hop. It's not always Don McClurkin and Marvin Winans. He's my favorite. But, sometimes I put on a little Jodeci or something like that. I'm chilling. I got my favorite rapper. We chilling.
Teddy.
Who?
In the grass.
Oh, yeah. But Teddy mess you up. Teddy leave God outside. I can't listen to Teddy right now. Teddy had you messed up. I got to protect myself.
Now you that wisdom, man.
Teddy, I can't listen to Teddy.
Y'all getting married right now.
Right.
That's right.
It's a time and a place. I can't turn off the lights at all. Seriously. We have to be serious, though. It's honestly, we can't pretend to be the most saved person that we meet.
Right.
I'm not going to pretend like I don't listen or I don't just hang out sometimes or watch certain movies because I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I talk to God. My conversations with God are real.
Right.
And I talk, sometimes I forget to say amen, and I'm over here listening to something else and talking to something else, and God had heard me curse about through a song or something. Because I'm just singing a song. I forgot to say amen. God, don't include that in my prayer. I say amen. But no, seriously, I just think like we got to stop pretending to be real.
Right.
We're real people. Nobody is perfect. Only God is. We have to accept that.
The word of the Lord says that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Says don't be so heavily bound that you know earth
Right.
is good.
That part.
See, if you study the word like you're supposed to, in those days, they dated. Apostle preached a message the other night about Boaz and Ruth. He saw a woman that he liked. He did what he's supposed to do. Me and my wife, we dated for like 3 months.
Taking it back, don't do that.
And the crazy thing was, it wasn't no deep dating. She told me who she was up front. See, that's the thing. It goes back to that question before. Do you know who you are?
Right.
If you know who you are and you know what you want,
Right.
you say, hey, and you live in the lifestyle, they already know you're saved. So therefore, if you are saved, you know what you want. You ain't gonna be attracting no jokers.
Right.
Now, if you're attracting a joker, then technically you might want to recheck your lifestyle.
Right.
My husband just said that.
Because she told me who she was up front. She said, I'm a businesswoman. This is who I am. I ain't gonna change. She said, I go shopping every day. every day. And she gets stuff in the house every day. And she put our children in cahoots with it every day. But she told me up front who she was. She said, this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is who I am. And then the added benefit for me was she was a praying woman.
Added benefit.
Amen.
Because it brought me back to what the Word of God says. He said something that just really shook me. He said, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtain favor
From the Lord.
And then he turned around and says, if you love your wife as Christ loved the church, your prayers will not be hindered.
Right.
That's the word.
So you telling me, if I treat this woman the way she's supposed to be treated, love her the way God say love her, and I pray to God, God, I need a new job. He said, well, I got my woman over there, my being over there. How have you been treating her?
Oh.
Come on now.
Speak.
How have you been showing love to her? Well, God, I really didn't show. Then what you expect me to do?
So you read what you saw. That part.
So the dating is like, hey, that's the fun part. Like they say, man, I already know you saved. Tell me who you are. Show me who you are. Because when times come, if you really say you saved, we need a prayer through.
Right.
We need a breakthrough. Are we going to fast together? Or you going to do your 30-day fast on your own house? And I'm going to do my 30-day fast in my house.
That's right.
Those things are added benefits. Right now, I need to know you as a being. So when you are hurt, when you are going through, when somebody has hindered you on your job, and you come to me and say, baby, this is what this person said. I know how to treat you. I know how to tell you. I know how to give you words of encouragement because you told me up front what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, what I need from you.
Can I get something upset real quick?
Go ahead, John. Go
Really
ahead.
quick. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Forgive me, y'all. Y'all will forgive me later. I think what messes up a lot in the dating arena as well is that we oftentimes we've got it figured out how our love story is going to be, and I think that affects us. I think everybody wants a Ruth and Boaz story. Everybody's not going to have a Ruth and Boaz. There are tons of different love stories in the Bible, and I think God put them there for a reason to show you it could happen this way. Exactly.
Right.
Rebecca
Ruth and
and
Boaz,
Isaac,
ain't it?
Jacob and Rachel would be one of my favorites. There's a lot of them. I don't know if we can count David and Bathsheba, but there's a lot.
I know.
Right there.
Yeah. See, that's the one they don't read.
That's what they got. But the reality is there's a number of different ways that God does things.
Right.
And when we focus in a narrow in of one and we say this is how it has to be,
Right.
oftentimes we miss something that could be God because it don't look the way we perceive that it should
Right.
look.
Come on now.
And so we miss out on something God has for
Can you
us.
say it again? It don't look like how you say it again.
Preach, woman of God. And so that's the reality. I think we got it figured out. We said to ourselves, it has.
Say it again.
I want you to say that part.
What part are we
When you
talking?
were talking about it don't look like how you your love story.
Well, our love story, oftentimes, our love stories are not going to look the way we expect them to look.
Right.
And sometimes we're out here telling God this is how it's supposed to look because we've perceived this is how it's supposed to look.
Right.
This is how it's supposed to be. And what happens is you take the wheel. You've been telling Jesus to take the wheel, but you in the front. You jump in. You talking about I got my license. I'm good. Let me drive. No. If you won't tell him take the wheel, get in the back. Get in the passenger seat. Chill. Vibe. You don't want to mess up a God thing because it's not your definition of a good thing. So I think we got to really flow with what God wants. And so on some level, we certainly do have to surrender to God.
Right.
Because I see a lot of women, and a lot of great, phenomenal women, and I see them miss out on a lot of great men because the story is not how they envisioned it. Or, let me say the real word. Let me not use envision. How they fantasized it was supposed to be. So you stayed up late at night and he was supposed to touch my back. And he didn't touch your back in the day. This can't be the one from God. I'm like, are we serious right now? Don't miss out on something great because it don't come exactly how you assumed they was going to show
Right.
up.
Yes.
And so I think sometimes our thinking plays a hindrance for us. Sometimes we have to surrender and kind of let God do his thing.
Yes.
Right.
God is, to me, an author of beautiful love stories.
Yes.
Not that God writes your love story is going to be phenomenal.
Right.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
I do want to add one little piece to that, and I said, we're so attracted to the results that we neglect the work. So we
Say that again. Say that
We're
again.
so attracted to the results that we neglect the work. So that process of getting to that happy space is work.
Right.
We don't want that work. We just want that mean. When they're smiling, we're attracted to that mean, but there was even work in putting that mean
Right.
up together. You had to find a picture. You had to crop it. I don't know how to really do these. My means are complete. But all the work that they put into creating those things, that's work. And that's what we have to do. We have to give ourselves an opportunity to reach that fantasy, that result. Put in the work.
Marriage is not for the lazy. I tell people, marriage is not for the lazy. It requires some work. You have to put in work. One young lady in Africa said to me, she said, when they hand people these marriage licenses is deception, because it's not a license. It's a certificate of employment. They've just hired you to get to work. And marriage really requires work. And it requires work from the very beginning. You ain't just going to come in and think, and I know this is the mentality, because sometimes the memes deceive us. Because, you're a queen, and you're just going to sit on your high horse, and he's just going to cater to you, and you have nothing to do. He's, it really... He's your peasant, you're the queen. You're the boss. Exactly. It really doesn't work that way. It requires work. And I tell people, whether in the dating process or marriage, one-sided relationships do not work.
Right.
If it's one person doing all the fighting, one person putting everything in, you're going to burn that individual out. And so if I'm pouring love back into you, I'm pouring effort into you, showing you I care, I need that reciprocated. And that goes in the... a young man said to me last night on my IG live, he said, late last night, he says, he says, man, I've been hitting this woman up. I'm showing her I care. I'm just getting flowers. We've been on some dates, but I'm the one just putting in all the work. Is she not interested?
No, clearly not.
She was interested, though. So I'm like, sweetheart, what you got going on? And this is what she's been taught. To kind of lay back and just let the man do all the work. I said, well, you're communicating a message to this man that you're not interested in. Because he thought you not interested. I thought you wasn't interested. Now you're trying to tell me you interested. So we have to, I tell people, if the desire is mutual, the effort will be mutual as well.
Amen.
But it requires work from the beginning. We got to work.
Just one more thing I want to add, and we can move on. There's a book that we read in Adam and Eve called The 5 Love Languages. And then and you can go on the website. It's by Gary Chapman, and he has two links you click on. But I went through it, and it's for relationships and single relationships, people that are in relationships, people that are single. But if you really read it, it's the same. And then at the end, it tells you, once you add up the points, what your love language is. So what I did with a few gentlemen of mine, we went through the test together.
Amen.
I say, okay, man, hey, let's go through this test. What's your love language? I already know what my love language is. My love language is quality time. My wife's love language is acts of service. And my thing was, I said, look, you know what your love language is. Now you're dating this female. Take her through the test. See what her love language is. Because what was happening was, when me and my wife was dating, is I didn't know her love language. Her love language is acts of service. Then once I found out, I was not operating the right way in her love language. Because see, acts of service to her is people doing stuff without having her to tell them how to do it. People was handling things without her telling them how to handle it. So once I realized, then I was able to speak her love language. Once I spoke her love language, then she gave me back mine, which was quality time.
All right. Amen.
So those little nuggets you want to take and use those tools because you want to speak each other's language.
Amen.
What do you do when your love language is physical touch? Because I think that's where I need prayer.
Pastor Mary you said talk to, listen.
Yeah.
So now I think we're missing a step here, right? Because the question was, how do we date as Christians? And everything we said was great, but what does that look like? So I'm single, and maybe another guy in my church is single. How do you approach? What does that look like? Do we go on dates? What kind of dates do we go on? Are there boundaries? What kind of boundaries? Like, paint the picture of what it should look like for a safe dating life for a Christian.
Setting me up to get in trouble.
Listen.
You really are.
He stays
Because
in
see,
trouble.
I'm very old fashioned. I get in trouble a lot for this. And I'm going to give the gentleman some time to give, their perception of this. There's a number of different types of ways a believer can date today. And so when it comes to boundaries, I think you have to know what works for you. I know my boundaries, as we pertain to sexual intimacy. Your hugs can't be longer than 1 minute and 59 seconds. And we got a problem. Because then I feel like I'm falling and I got to hold on to something. You see what I'm saying? Then I got a grip. You see? We got a problem. So see, for me, that's my limit. I'm a hugger. Physical touch is my thing. Yeah, you understand? And so I got to stay away from that kind of stuff. But more than that, we have two types of daters. One particular type I'm really not a fan of, but it's very popular with men because it makes logical sense. And I call them a serial dater. And there are a lot of preachers who preach this is a particular type of date. I have some issues. Maybe I get in my feelings easily. I don't know. But for me, when dating, and this is just one aspect of dating, they can deal with a number of different ones. When I'm interested in someone or talking to someone, I'm focused on that individual.
Right.
You understand? So if we were to go on a date and we had a wonderful time and we went to Olive Gardens, I don't know, whatever you like, and it was Sunday and I enjoyed the food. Here it is. On Monday, I go back by myself to enjoy what we had yesterday. You understand? The Parmesan, the chicken Parmesan. And I see you with somebody else. I get in my feelings rather quickly. Now, we're not official. You see what I'm saying? That's where the issue is. We're not official. And so, technically, I don't have a right to be in my feelings. But I can't help it. It's my problem. See what I'm saying? And so some people, the serial daters, say you can date multiple people at one time because you're not committed to one. But I don't know. It messes with me.
Yes.
Because if I have five gorgeous women that just, and I'm dating all 5 of y'all, and somebody get on my nerve,
Come on.
in the dating process, I don't think I'm going to get the practice to want to work it out.
Hello.
Why am I going to deal with you, Vanessa, when Susie just as fine, and I got to put up with your mess? I got 4 more on the side. You see what I'm saying? For me, it doesn't benefit me, but that's what works for me personally. And so dating, I think, of course, there's perhaps nowadays we have the texting. You text, you talk, you dialogue, you get to know each other. That's what dating, I think, entails. You get to know an individual to see one, to seek God's approval, 2, to see if there's some compatibility there, if we can do life together. That's what dating entails. So going on dates, going out, talking, spending time, going to church together, a variety of different things. But to me, that's what a Christian dating today would look like. I'll let the gentleman tell me what it is for them. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think we have to know our balance. We have to know our weaknesses. We know what will get us in trouble, and really pay attention to that and avoid those, and not really trust ourselves. We give ourselves too much credit that once we get in this position where we can sit in the car and we talk and we look in each other's eyes and we can just kiss once. And the next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And what did I do? I just regress back to.
She said yes.
I mean, some people still in the car, you know. Some people
Right.
That's real.
That's why we can't worship on Saturday.
You're on the altar.
Right. But I always say there's a difference between dating and courting. To get to the point that you said, I think those are relationship hoarders. If you know what hoarding means, it's like I'm holding on to this relationship just in case.
Yep.
You know, but eventually if you keep doing that, you're going to end up by yourself because somebody's going to get on your nerve. Everybody's going to get on your nerves, and then who do you have left? You're just by yourself. So dating and courting, for me, dating is like a job. Courting is like a career. You put more into it for courting, right? This is the rest of your life. This is who I want to be my wife. I'm putting more effort. I can't court everybody. I can't. I don't have enough energy to do that. that. I don't have enough money, time.
Right there
you know.
where you are, I'm gonna jump in.
Okay.
Pardon me, MC. But I need to understand, how do you understand when that level has gone over into that courting state? How do you know that you have transitioned from that dating process into that courtship?
You have to be honest. You have to say, listen, I really, really like you. And you have to eliminate all the other distractions, the other men, the other women.
And what does that look like to
It's
you?
dating
How
with
have
purpose.
you eliminated?
Oh, I'm having a conversation. Listen, I'm interested in someone else.
Very good.
Here's a conversation.
Very
Hey,
good.
this isn't going anywhere.
Very good.
Let's stop. Let's just stop here. I'm focused on this person. And make it clear to the person that you're dealing with. It's just me and you.
Oh, Lord.
No,
They don't know how to let go.
Right.
Sweetheart, we're just not a good fit. What do you mean?
it could be a year removed of us communicating. Why? What happened? I saw you posted a meme. Why didn't you give that to me? Because you weren't who I was writing to. And I wasn't trying to be mean, but that's
Right.
just not where we were.
Right. Amen.
And I don't, just because I'm a nice guy and I love to love doesn't mean that I'm going to give it to you. Because
Right.
you are missing it. I'm not the one for you. So if you can accept that, then find the one who's for you. And it's okay. There's 1,000 Bashes. Psych. But you will find somebody that will do the things that you want and need in order for that relationship to really develop to where you want it to go. Again, putting in the work, and the results will be there.
Yeah.
And being okay with saying, this didn't work out.
Yeah.
And we're so afraid of rejection, we're so afraid of being vulnerable, that leaves us so guarded and not being able to really have genuine, serious conversations with each other.
Can I add one thing to what what he's saying? To our sisters, really, y'all know I love y'all. It is very possible for a man to be interested in somewhere in the dating process and lose interest. A lot of women have a hard time accepting that because she knows she's all that. She's awesome. She's all this fineness. You mean to tell me you didn't? We saw it, but men are very logical. We saw it. No, I'm serious. Sometimes a man will look at the situation and analyze it and say, you're just not the best fit for me. Or perhaps he doesn't believe you're God's choice for him.
Come on.
And it is a very difficult thing to accept, but it is possible. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can. Usually a man, when he pursues, oftentimes the first thing he goes off is physical attraction. You fine. You look good. That was with my eyes. I got to get to know you, sweetheart. I didn't know you was crazy. I didn't know that when we got to the restaurant, you was going to order shrimp at a sophisticated restaurant. I didn't know that. You understand? I didn't know that. You didn't show me that side. I just saw how fine you were, and I said, she's absolutely beautiful. And then I got to know you, and I realized, okay, there's going to be some issue because you don't know how to, when I take you to the chicken shack, I need you to be ratchet. It's okay to be ratchet. But when we're at the classy, sophisticated place, you cannot order shrimp, sweetheart. You just can't. You understand? So it is possible that the man in the dating process comes to that point where he's like, maybe this is not the best choice for me or for you.
Right.
And it's a very difficult thing. Sometimes women come to that conclusion. It's a very difficult thing to accept, but we have to be honest with ourselves.
Amen.
I think for me, the steps in dating, just break it down. I saw my wife. Well, actually, no. I didn't see I saw my wife, and she didn't see me. Yeah, she was gleaming. She was gleaming in the spirit. But no, I saw her, and then she saw me, and I shook her hand, and I kept moving. Because I was working. I was doing my music thing. And she was like, you don't see me? But then my best friend said, hey, man, I got a lady over here that likes to play, that wants to learn how to play the keyboard. I said, okay, I'll teach her. Come to find out, it was Shaquila. She still don't know how to learn to this day. But I called on the phone. We text. She's a pastor. I'm a pastor. Before we wasn't pastors, but she was saved. I was saved. She texted, hey, I got your number from such and such and such. Hey, how you doing? I'm fine. I want to learn how to play the keyboard. No problem. Let's set it up. I called on the phone. We talked, had a conversation. We got to know each other. What you doing? I'm not doing that. Okay, click. Then we kept talking for a few days, a few more days. You know, the conversation got kind of good, dog. She was sounded real good with this phone. Okay, then she made it known. Hey, I really like you.
Wow. So she did that.
I
She
like
said,
that.
hey, I really like you. And it wasn't, and she, I mean, yeah, look good and everything. She's like, I really like you. I like you too. Maybe we should go out sometime. No problem. Click. 2 weeks went by. Hey, what's going on? Nothing. What you doing? Nothing. No, I text her. I say, hey, what you doing this weekend? I know her schedule. She was a armor bearer. She was, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What you doing Friday? Nothing. I might be at church. Okay, what time you get out of church? I get out of church at 9 o'clock. No problem. You know, maybe we can get together, go out to eat or something. The steps we took was normal people steps. Just because we were saved, sanctified,
Right.
don't mean nothing. Normal people steps. I say, hey, what you doing? You got a church? Yeah, I got a church. I'm so tired. I'm real tired. So you want to go out? I don't know where to go out. That's what a man and woman. So you want to go? I don't know where to go out. Now we wasn't dating. She like, I don't want to go out. I'm tired. Won't you just make the decision? We're not together yet, boo. That's what that crazy. You know, they come to you, man. She's just crazy. Won't you make the decision? Oh Lord. And I put the phone on mute for a second. I said, Jesus. Do I really want to get to know that? But no, I said, okay. Won't I go get some Miami subs?
All right.
And then we sit and talk outside the house.
In the car.
No, no. No, not in the car. I say, why don't we get some Miami subs? We sit and talk. Got some Miami subs. We sat and talked. 3 months later, we were dating. 6 months later, got engaged. That ain't the time frame. Well, look, we've been married 7 years now.
And it didn't take long. Amen. Amen.
So the steps are normal people's steps. It's not. Don't get so, like they say, caught up in the spirituality of it. You are a human being.
Right.
So you can text him, and he can text you back, and you can have a normal conversation. Now, unless your intentions and his intentions are to the point where you're not ready to date, you just like him, he look fine, you want to see what he gonna give you, and you create this atmosphere where you done met this joker, he look good, and
Free
you
meals. That's what they doing out here.
they give you free meal. You're like, okay, he look good. And you know, and then you done heard a conversation from his other girlfriend, like, hey man, he done that man on that fine, he got money. And every now and then, I heard this other girl said that he done, you know, put it down on it. So that's why I say you got to know who you are. Because if you know you are, you will set your own standards.
Right.
And you can date freely and not be so caught up in I'm saying.
Amen. So, we have a question. How do we know as women, how do we as women know if a man is dating many women or just you, the individual?
You know.
Well, they committed to you. I told you that's a particular type of dater. That's why you tell people up front. If you're like me, you get in your feelings very quickly. Let people know what the deal is. You ask those questions. You know, but this is the norm today, to be honest with you. And I have a lot of pastor friends who teach this way. And they think it's okay to date multiple people. And that's their perception. You know, I don't debate and argue. For me, it doesn't work because I get in my feelings very quickly. But I also teach that before commitment, be very cautious not to invest emotions. That's where heartbreak comes in. You understand? So there's no type of commitment. This man didn't say that we're exclusive. It's just me and you you've already married him in your mind. Then there's an issue. That's where heartbreak comes in. But can I just say something with these two? I love your love story, by the way. But what I love is that she was open. How many women would have actually said, I like you? I think this is why I said to the Lord, send me a cougar. Because these I'm sorry. Young women today play too many games. It's too many games. You're interested in me, but you out here playing games. I done told you how
Lord
I feel.
have
You got now you playing games. You going around questions. I ain't got time for games. Cougars know what's up. They ain't got much living to do. Nobody got time for games. You see what I'm saying? Get to the point. Let's make the thing happen.
This dude is crazy for real. Something wrong with him.
I like to say that we're seasoned.
All right, seasoned saints. God. For me, I like it. It's all about communication up front, and the way that you, I get on my son a lot. I actually say, hey, how many girls you talking to? I said, she's like, I'm only talking to one. I said, you sure? See, because the thing is, I'm a man, and you growing up to be a man. I can tell by your actions and your conversations. And I can tell when I ask his girlfriend what they talk about, if you talking to her, another female, and another female. See, when it came down to it, at the end of the day, a real man tell you, it's hard work having 4 or 5 females.
They're gonna be broke, baby.
They're gonna be not only broke, they're gonna start getting gray hair. They're gonna be frustrated, and at the end of the day, they're gonna be exactly in that same category that they always put in, man and his dog. They're no good, because all he's gonna be doing is just going from female to female to female. He's not gonna settle down. So based on his actions, now keep in mind, if you got a man like Barshay is a busy man. He does a lot of social media. He's a mentor. He's a therapist. You got a man like John. John is a busy man. If he does not text you back, he does not call you back the same day. It does not mean he's talking to another female. Now, y'all might have talked around 8 o'clock. Y'all talked around about 12. But after lunch, he might have got so many different meetings that he could not text you or call you and say, hey, I'm busy. That does not mean there's somebody in between.
I'm gonna check the T-Mobile account.
That's they hit you all every 10 seconds. Like, how do you work and do the stuff y'all do? Because y'all get every 10 seconds to expect a response.
The thing that I understand, I'm going to let Barshay answer that. I'm going to let Barshay. Is what I understand is all goes back to this event here. If you have been broken, you have been abused, you have been battered, you have been neglected, and you have not healed from the past relationship. You have not let go of some past experiences. When it comes down to you meeting the right man, or dating the right man, or that man is showing you exactly what you need, but based on his actions look like somebody else actions. You thinking he's cheating, you thinking he's talking to another female. No, like me and my wife have a conversation all the time. We just agreed upon it. Baby, I'm at work. You can't text me at work. She said, baby, don't text me at work. Because there's going to come a time I might not answer that text message. And you're going to get upset. And based on the experience that me and her went through, well, just like I said before, I cheated. She got hurt to the point where my trust was broken. So now I got to build that back. But I told her, hey, I'm at work. If I don't answer my text, don't think there's nobody out there. Hey, I'm sorry I didn't call you when I got off work and go to Pizza Hut because we got to work late, so I just had to drive. Don't think that I didn't want to call you. I didn't want to talk to you. Hey, I'm sorry I didn't call you when I got off work at 2 o'clock in the morning from Pizza Hut to let you know I'm on my way home. Don't think I'm out going to some other female house. Because there's going to come a time that she's still healing, but then it's going to be a relapse. Because the enemy has a way of sneaking in if you don't close that door.
Right.
I have a question.
therefore-
I'm sorry to jump in. But what if you've been cheated on so many times? How do you let that guy, I guess, be himself without letting him, how do you date again after being cheated on? I mean, do you tell the guy I've been cheated on so many times, and how do you heal and you don't trust?
Well, one thing is stop telling guys that you've been cheated on.
Oh.
Stop doing it. Because right there, you're already setting the table for what you think is going to happen. You're still in that last relationship, even though you're meeting a new guy. So you guys are now having conversations. Me, if I'm dating you, I'm making sure I'm doing everything to make sure that you know that I'm not cheating on you. I'm not being authentic because now I'm frustrated and proving that I'm not who you just met or who you've been with. So that's one of the things that we have to stop doing, is stop telling everybody, oh, I've been cheated on. Every relationship I've been cheated on. Now I'm like, why do you keep getting cheated on?
Exactly.
And now I'm looking at the things that might be the reasons why you got cheated on.
You the common denominator.
And sometimes, you know, that whole thing, and I'll go back to the love language, and I always, you know, I'm familiar with Dr. Chapman's work, and my thing is, and I always tell my clients to take that test several different times in different moods, and you find out different results. But the common one. But getting back to that, it's just, again, stop telling everybody that you've been cheated on. We need to really heal and spend time with ourselves, because we're trying to heal through another person. We're attracted to what we didn't have in the last relationship.
Help us, Lord. Thank you.
And that's a setup each time you get into a relationship. And I mean, there's so many questions that I wanted to answer, but the other one too, as far as the multiple dating, and I think a lot of times as men, we don't give opportunity to tell the woman, hey, I'm seeing someone else, or I'm dating multiple, because women want to hear the truth regardless of what it is. And we don't want to tell the truth sometimes.
No.
Because we think we're going to lose the woman that we're stringing along or holding on to, because we want to make sure that she's the one. But while we're trying to make sure, we're going to tell her the things that she needs to hear from us to hold her right here. But there's, again, let me pass it on, because
I want to say something.
Wait, I want to know,
was
why
good.
would you want to hold her right there if you're dating other women?
Well, that's what go back to being honest. Because when you're trying to figure things out, and if you're not clear and honest as a man, then that's the reason why you're holding on, because you just want to make sure. But you're never going to be sure with 7 different women, because each woman has some quality that you want to hold on to. And we have to understand that not everybody's going to have everything. And that's why love works. Love is not an emotion. The emotion is the result of the love.
Hallelujah. Amen.
So we really need to pay attention to that, and just being honest and say, listen, I'm missing something. Or do you know what I'm missing? Like having that serious conversation and say, I like when you do this. You're not doing this certain thing. Would you be willing to do this? I mean, a woman might say, I'm not doing that because you're not giving me what I need to give you that.
Amen.
So having these honest conversations with each other is very important.
Am I allowed to challenge our women on something?
Yes.
Because I really believe that God has given women they operate on a different frequency. And so I certainly do believe in a woman God's given intuition. I do. You guys just prophetically, there's this sense there. What I'm trying to figure out is how come every time it comes to a man, y'all turn this thing off? And the man shows you who he is, but you paint a different picture. I see it every single time. It's like, I think a lot of women tend to lie to themselves. I see it online, on social media. I can pick out the frauds easily. I know if I can see them, you should be able to see them. How do you fall into this? It is because you're allowing, oh, he's 6 feet tall, dark chocolate. You're allowing a lot of these other things to blind you. You see the truth. Y'all can't convince me. So I think in the choosing process, it's the main issue, the choosing process. And I tell women, oftentimes the reason you keep getting hurt, and we got to go back on some accountability. It's not because you were not a good woman, you were not good enough. It had nothing to do with none of that. It is your choice. You kept accepting the wrong man. I don't tell women it's just that you attract the wrong man. You accepted the wrong man, and you keep accepting the wrong man. All right? There is a particular type of man. Oftentimes, let me go a little deeper. Y'all have a type. That's what it is. Sometimes your type is the reason why y'all in these situations. Because sometimes your type is not good for you. And you have to be able to be very honest with yourself. If this particular type keeps breaking your heart, keeps cheating on you, why do you keep going back to that type?
It look good.
Does it look good?
It feels good.
No, good. You know what? You know what?
It tastes good.
My God. What you tasting like that, woman? Never mind.
Oh,
Grapefruit? Lord, have mercy. Not the grapefruit juices.
If y'all want to know why you keep going back, please get the video and watch the first segment about your first love, how we are chemically imbalanced when we are introduced to things that we desire. So you can get the video and also be open to why we keep that repeated cycle.
I want to say this and go back to her.
Yeah.
What happened is how we keep going back to these same guys, why you keep attracting guys that always cheat. Because what happened is we date the same guy, and the only thing changes their name and their faces.
Sometimes their name don't change.
That's the only thing changed, their name and their face. We attract the same kind of guys, but their name changes and their face changes. Why? Because we attract that same kind of guy. The young man said, don't tell them that you've been cheated on. Now, you know the sign, you are 100% right. We want this guy that's 6 feet tall, 3 inches. Okay, we look at that brother and say, that's a fine glass of water right there. He can't be a fine glass if he's 3 feet tall. He can't be packing because he go outside 6 shoes. Work it. Work it. We look at society because society say if he ain't 6 feet tall, he ain't got what it takes.
Oh my God.
If you are
This is real talk.
Make it work.
This is real talk. Oh my gosh.
I'm 7 years older than my husband.
Oh, she went to
You better do
I'm 53 years old and my husband is happy. So stop, and I'm with you. Ain't no way in. I would have been dating, and my man, somebody I'm dating 5 and 6 women, I'd have been a stalker. What? Who does that? What? No.
Well, some women think like that too. Some women think like that. It's a
Listen, I'm not that. See, that's why you married the wrong somebody. Listen, well seasoned, tenderized. That's what happened, and this is why I believe you're married the same.
Oh my gosh.
The wrong people, because okay, you dating 4 or 5 people. Before you get to the next one, come on and marry me. You ain't got no business marrying him. Y'all will add up.
Right.
Come on now.
But I'm so afraid that third woman that you're dating, you might marry her.
Yeah.
So instead of you giving me a ring, I'm gonna go buy you one.
My God. And post it on
Because I'm
Facebook.
so afraid that you might get that other woman a ring. I see it too many times. Listen, baby, he don't want you.
You don't want to, boo.
He don't want you. He in somebody's inbox. How do I know?
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Also, to answer,
You know, because
It's hot in
my
here.
standard is a little different because I locked it down. So once you lock it down, they think that you're going to change your mind later.
well, let me.
So it's a little different.
Sweetheart, it's the other women getting you in trouble. Because everybody, a lot of them that said they locked it down, they don't really lock it down. Well, there's a real lock on there, so there's it people up. Because Susie didn't really lock it down, but she was stronger than you. She was like, it's on lock. You ain't about to get it. And then we took Susie down. So when we get to hear what you say is on lock, then yeah, whatever.
We'll see.
That's how y'all do it.
Not even
Because wine.
right. Not even that. Let me say this. Let me say this. Me and Shaquila are 2 different people.
Amen. Amen.
The way me and Shaquila met was unorthodox. Shaquila wanted, what you wanted, a tall,
6 foot red.
she wanted a light-skinned girl.
Light skin, bro. Red, oh my God.
Yeah. It's all. Yeah. But see, the thing was, she had a standard. She had locked it down. But what happened was,
What God did, son.
the problem that men and women have
What big a rock right now, son.
is that you have an image of
what you want.
What does God say?
But God has a plan.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
There you go.
See, what I needed for me to be sitting right here in front of you today
Yes.
was this woman right here.
Yes.
That's it.
What she needed for her to do the things that she's doing now and forever is me.
Because my husband faked to work 2 jobs so I can do what I do.
So therefore, your plan, you're locking down your image of what you want has failed you. Because you're doing this, trying to do this by yourself. And you've been hurt so much. So now, God is saying, hey, stop trying to find this man you need. Because I got him for you.
All right.
I just need you to do what I asked you to do. And love on me. And be about me. And be concerned about the things of God. Because if you're not, and then you meet somebody,
You keep getting in a mess.
and you get in that relationship, but you have not really trust God to heal your body, heal your mind, heal your soul, how can you really trust that man?
Right.
And he didn't even do nothing to you.
Right.
Half the time, the men that was there, that's supposed to be in your life, because you didn't heal, you didn't let God do what he wanted to do for you, heal your mind, heal your body, they get so beat down to the point where they find a woman that they like. They like, man, I don't even know it's going to work. Because the one before me just hurt me so bad. I did everything so right.
Coach, rebuke me. All right?
Oh,
As soon as
Lord.
I'm done saying this, you'll rebuke me. Bashay has the look. Bashay is 6'3". Bashay has the good looks. He's a therapist. If a sister sees Bashay, she's feeling Bashay moves her. You understand? It does something to the sister. You understand?
Yeah.
Right? She wants Bashay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some
Tall shoes. You'll rebuke me afterwards. See, here is my conflict, and this is me being vulnerable, then y'all lay hands on me later. If Bashay is what she wants, but Bashay was not acting right, so she just came to me, I get my feelings a little bit because I question, do you really want me?
Right.
I don't want you with me, but desiring Bashay.
That's right.
See what I'm saying?
They're loyal to the need of you. They're
See what
not
I'm saying?
loyal to you.
To you. So I want her to not just need me, I want you to also want me. As he was speaking, it was not just that she needed you, bro. She wants you. Because she closed her eyes when she... Let me tell you how I know. Because she closed her eyes when she was talking about Mr. Tall Red, and she was like, Tall Red. And then when you started talking, she was like, yeah. You understand?
She was.
She don't just need you, she wants you. And so this is where I'm conflicted. I don't just want a woman to be with me because I'm a good guy.
That's right.
See, the good guy thing gets me in trouble a lot. Oh, you'll pay the bills, you do what you're supposed to do. No, but I want you to want me. Because oftentimes, and we don't talk about it, especially in our community, but this is very prevalent. Oftentimes, women, I know y'all don't cheat, not y'all in here, but women will step out with the man they actually desire. On a good man.
Yes.
Because he's 5'7", he's not 6'3". They wanted Bashay, he's not Bashay, so I'm going to, you understand?
Yes,
We'll
sir.
dip and dab.
Yeah.
And there's this fascination in our generation, at least, based on my observation, for the bad boy. And I no matter how hard I try to convince women that a bad boy got nothing on a good man, they want what they want. And I can't stop you from going after what you want. That's what you want. You got to get with God till God do a work in you.
Right.
And you actually not just need a good man, but you begin to desire a good man.
Right.
So that's big.
Sir, I think that there's a stigma as far as bad boy. And when a woman in this era, this generation now, what they would call the millennium, when they would say bad boy, it's not so much the stealing, killing, and robbing. It's that image, that appearance.
Christian thug, y'all call it. There is no such thing, sweetheart. There is no such thing.
I'm explaining the verbiage when it comes
I
to how they will predict what a bad boy is. Nevertheless, when you simply say bad boy, it's just
No, I get it. It's the Christian thug. Here's my thing with the Christian thug. Women go for him simply because of his look. Let's keep it 100.
Right.
The reality it is the good man that actually fight for you, even if he get his butt whooped. He's the one that's gonna sacrifice his life for you. Because these so-called Christian thugs that you oftentimes, because I watch this, they're like, you do your thing. You ain't had no business, checking that man anyway. And I'm trying to figure out why put yourself in such predicament. I want to know why so many women are signing up for a Hardy.
You know what?
There's tons of great men out
It's
here.
a double standard.
Hold on.
Because the man could
We do it
say,
too, yeah. We do it
I
too.
want a pencil skirt.
I do want a pencil skirt. I
I
can't
want a
help
certain
that.
type. It's
Pray for me, then, sister.
It's okay having a certain type. What's wrong with having a certain
There.
type?
Hold on. So
God broke me out of that mess.
I have a question that we're going to ask, and I know something else I'm going to say, which I'm going to forget. So, do you feel that celibacy is necessary in dating with a purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, I do. But here's why I turned to Bathsheba. Not because I'm living in sin. I want the same understand. I turned to Bathsheba because I will keep it 100. This is my struggle. I hear believers all the time, I'm single, saved, and satisfied. That's not my testimony, saints. I'm single, I'm saved, y'all. I'm struggling, y'all. I am at night. I'm like, God, if you don't send this woman, oh my God. Right around 9:23 every night, God, if you don't, she just want to, God, let me taste it. I'm negotiating with God. It's my struggle. I'm keeping it 100. Some men have mastered it, and I'm doing a very good job. But sometimes I ask myself, am I doing a good job because I don't, it's not presented, ain't nobody there, or am I really all that good? I'm honest with myself. And so some men are successful at it, and it's a self-control issue.
It's the reality.
But some of us struggle, I'm not gonna lie. I feel it hard, y'all.
The struggle is really real. I mean, we have to be. I think it is important, but I also think we have to pay attention and know what we can handle. Because putting ourselves in these situations,
Right.
we all fall short, and then we beat ourselves up, and we continue to beat ourselves up and get into this next situation, and we give ourselves too much trust. I'm gonna be good. You find yourself in the middle of the act praying for forgiveness. I did a YouTube video and was talking about I had to really have this conversation with myself a day, like I'm an addict. Today you're not gonna get none. Even if there's no one there. Because randomly you'll get a text from somebody from 3 years ago and say, what you doing?
Just like that.
The next thing you know, y'all chilling together.
All right.
Netflix and chill.
Y'all eating together. And having and that's when you put on Teddy. And then Teddy gets you in trouble. And you're blaming Teddy. When you're trusting yourself too much. And if I'm not doing, I'm not talking about it. It is a struggle. If you had it once, it is a struggle. If you had it twice, it's a struggle. Right. Even the virgins, like a couple of men, I have this group, and there's a couple of men that are virgins, and they are struggling. And they're not even had it yet. Wow. And they are struggling daily.
Struggling, really, yeah.
And getting into, I've never had this problem with pornography, but they're heavy into the pornography. And you got to release that. And it's so difficult, and you really have to be on purpose protecting yourself from all those environments.
Yep.
Because you can fall right back into it real quick. And then be praying for forgiveness.
Right.
All over again.
5 minutes later. And then 10 minutes later, you back doing it again. So.
They look good. That's my problem. Why y'all look so good? That's my problem. Just wear a muumuu. I don't know. Wear a couple.
You gonna find something. Okay, don't matter if you wear a muumuu or not.
That's true too. That's true.
I would say as well as see the thing, the problem I have when I talk to men and women is that, and I guess it's like a stigma. You have this persona of what dating is, and it's wrong. If you're gonna date somebody, that means you get to know where does sex come in at all in the beginning. Your intentions, your mindset is like, when I'm dating this person, I'm gonna get to know this person, and then, oh shoot, what am I supposed to do if we have sex? When I talked to my wife, sex was nowhere in there. Right. The conversations we had, the talks that we had, we liked each other, we was attracted to each other, don't get me wrong. She looking good, like a box of chocolates. You know, especially twice on Sunday, child, you know, she had this little, this thing, this little body shaping y'all got, Lord Jesus. But when I looked at her and I talked to her, my mind didn't wander to the point where once I get her alone, once we sit and talk, once we hold hands or hug, then we gotta take it to the next level. See, it came down to the point where me knowing who I was struggling, but at the end of the day, I knew God and I was saved. And I wanted to respect who he was. And he said, if I love her and I'm going to marry her, not even love her, if I'm going to love her and I'm going to sleep with her, I'm just going to marry her. Because at the end of the day, I'm taking something from her, soul ties. She's taking something from me. And if we don't last long, that soul tie is going to carry. And everything that I transfer to her is going to transfer to somebody else.
Amen. So let's talk about the purpose thing. You know, how does purpose come into play when considering dating? And whether it be, you know, celibacy or not, but how does purpose come into play when you're actually dating someone? Does it matter? Can you just date anyone? And so how does that work?
I think purpose is huge. I tell people all the time, do not get with someone who's not aligned with your purpose or someone who's in conflict with your destiny. It is important. It is important that we don't have to be in the same field. We have to be headed in the same direction. I'm tired of seeing people who are not only not on the same page, they're not even reading the same book.
Right.
And oftentimes there is a conflict because if I'm headed in one direction and you're headed in another direction and we're trying to hold on to each other, there's going to be issues. So I do believe that we must be aligned in our purpose. What you do cannot be in conflict with what I do. That is just my take on it.
I agree. I mean, that was it right there. I mean, we definitely have to be in line, and the person that you're with has to be supportive of your purpose and not intimidated by your purpose and not jealous of your purpose and not being in competition.
Come on.
And that's the thing. You have a purpose. I have a purpose. Let's live together in purpose.
I have a question. I'm sorry, MC, but in your purpose, are you purposely dating for marriage, or are you just dating for convenience?
Oh, I stopped dating for convenience a long time ago.
Praise God.
When I was in college. It's definitely dating with purpose. That doesn't mean it's going to work out. But the ultimate goal is, I'm not writing Dear Future Wife just to have a whole bunch of future girlfriends. So, definitely, that's the ultimate goal. I want to show my son what a happy, healthy marriage looks like.
Amen.
All right.
A lot of men do desire marriage. I want to get rid of that myth. There are a lot of men who desire marriage. I'm anticipating. I cannot wait for
God
it.
bless you.
You understand? I want to be married, and so every night,
At 9 o'clock.
9:23 on the dot. Praise God. I just want to hold a thigh, Jesus. Just let me hold it, Lord. I'm not gonna do nothing else. But we do desire marriage. We certainly do desire marriage, and many of us are dating with a purpose. Sometimes the men that oftentimes you see that, I hate to say it this way, it's not that they lose interest quick, but they're really a no-game type of guy. It's because of that. They're usually men who are dating with purpose. They're very goal-oriented. They know who and what fits them. And if you're not it, they don't want to waste your time, and they don't want you wasting their time. And so
I was so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that because you'll find a lot of people talking about they date with purpose and they've been with the same people for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. If you're dating with a purpose and you've been with this person for over a certain amount of time, you should know if you want to marry.
That's right.
And I am so tired of our women. I'm with him. We dating with a purpose. Don't come tell me you dating with no purpose and y'all been dating for 2 years. You're not dating. You're in a made-up relationship, and you're in your head. You are married to this man, and in his head, you are not married yet. And that's the thing. When we talk about levels, baby, I understand you and I feel you. I do. I understand what you're talking about. When we talk about setting levels and setting boundaries, we need, as women, God has given us something very valuable. And Pastor John talk about it, at 9:23, he be feeling something. God has given us something very, very valuable. And if a man is seeking you and he starts saying, oh, yes, she got it on lock and key, but I'm going to see if I can get her. If a man is hunting you out like he's a predator and he's saying that to you, you need to cut him off. Cut those levels. Because guess what? He's not trying to look at your destiny. He's not trying to look at your purpose. He's not trying to get you to the next Broken Beauty Conference. He's not trying to get you international. What he's trying to do is get you in the bedroom. And when he gets you out the bedroom, he is going on to the next person. So, because you have that authority, women, because we have that authority, women, we have to use it. I love what he said. We turn off that senses because we're chemically imbalanced. I like the way it looks. He hold my hand and he give me butterflies. Stop running after these butterflies. Let me tell you something. My husband, we started, look, the real deal was we met in August, started dating in October, was engaged in December, and married in March. You can't tell me God wasn't able.
Come on, somebody.
And I waited a long time. The people in my family married young. Am I right, sister? They married young and they talked about me and they laughed at me. They said Keela would never be married. Oh, she's so old. She got standards. She don't want no anything. And you're right. I did not want no anything. I was not taking no anything. And guess what? And when me and my husband went through that cheating, Apostle McCray was right there. She was showing me that mirror about me, how I created atmospheres that would allow my husband to feel inferior, like he wasn't nothing, like he couldn't do anything right. And I look at him now and I be like, baby, you can get whatever you want.
You better go ahead.
What you want.
You know what, guys?
This dude was taken together in some way. I felt it. I'm spiritually sensitive. I sense something, right? You say, Can I say this? Here's what's hunting a lot of believers. It is not so much that a lot of them have really mastered self-control. And believe it or not, I find women fall into this more so than women. And when it comes to the falling into sexual sense, it is that forethought of how will it be when I get married? Will I be satisfied? And so I have tons of women who slide in my DM and say, can I touch it at least? Can I see it? Can he pump it 2 times? Yeah, they have all these theories because, there's something out here called sexual compatibility, which I personally believe is a myth.
Me too.
If we did it God's way, of course, we were to grow with one another sexually. But because we done went and had somebody damage our cervix, now we come in the bedroom.
He has no bars.
And now we
I love it.
No filter on that guy. No filter.
We're confused. We saying to ourselves, will he be able to work it like this individual from the past? And we men struggle with that too, because I'll be honest, I struggle, y'all. And so sometimes I go back and I'm like, wait a minute, Susie did something to me and it wasn't of God. But I liked it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, I would like to have that when I get married. You see what I'm saying?
That's real.
It messes with you. So you're like, I wonder. Yeah, I can't have it, but I wonder. And that's the thing that messes with my
pray about that thing. Be specific in them prayers.
One thing.
Specific.
We got a hand up. One thing I want to say about the dating with the purpose is when you have to know what your purpose is first.
Come on, say that.
See, my wife had a purpose, and I had a purpose. We was going down the same road. She was driving her car, I was driving my car. We didn't even see each other while we was driving, walking this purpose. But somewhere along the line, God had made a turn to the point where we meet up, and this purpose has grew. See, if you know what your purpose is, and you're operating in your purpose, the man, the woman that you will meet will enhance your purpose. See, if you're not operating your purpose, you're not living your purpose, then you just gonna settle. You're gonna meet anybody, you're gonna talk to anybody, you're like, I'm struggling, I'm going through this, why am I always meeting the wrong man? Baby, are you operating in your purpose?
Come on, somebody.
Are you living your purpose? Because if you live in your purpose, you know what God says about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you say about you. You know what God told you you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been plenty of times God done showed Bathsheba his wife. God done showed John his wife is coming on the way at 9:29, 9:23. God done showed you your husband. But what happens is we see what God has shown us. And then it doesn't look like what we like.
Come on now.
And we say, God, I see you.
That ain't it though.
But that ain't what I want.
Can we talk about that for a moment? Because men, being that they are
So
let's not.
We got you. We'll get back to you. Go ahead.
First, I want to say thank you guys for having something like this.
Oh, wow.
Secondly, I want to talk to Shaquille.
That's cool.
You mentioned to think about your husband cheating on you. Okay, I was married. My husband cheated on me. We got a divorce. I went through breast cancer. He was there the whole time. And I felt guilty, so I remarried him. Wow. And to be honest with you, I cannot stand him. And it's not just him, it's his family. And I told him, I said, Lord, Jesus. See, I'm American. I was born and raised in Georgia. His family is Haitian.
Oh boy. No. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Them Haitians something
It's
else.
okay, Stacey. It's okay. Listen, what I will tell you is this. To deal with the cheating, you have to change the images that you see. What me and my husband both had to deal with is the image that we had, the persona I had in my mind that he's gonna do this again. And it took a while. And I had really good people. Apostle McCray, please stand up, mommy. Please stand up, mommy. When I said that testimony, she willed me back to life. She willed me back to Christ. She helped me change that picture, that image that I had in my head about my husband cheating, about myself, about my self-esteem, about everything. Not only did she do that, but she also mentored my husband. He has a spiritual father. He also has a spiritual mother. And he has natural parents. And my husband had to change the image that he had about himself as well. Because it was like, how could I do this to my family? How could I tear my family down? And that was a very sensitive thing for a man. For a man. And there are times that I have seen my husband cry and go through traumatic situations about what he did or how he acted or how he treated his family. Listen, because men protect. Women, don't get it twisted. Not all men are wrong. Not all men are bad. And men that cheat don't all mean that they bad as well.
See, the thing of it is with him, he's trying. He's trying.
And you're winning.
Correct.
But the thing of it is like, I can't get over the cheating. I just can't get over
Correct.
that.
Because it's a mental picture in your own head.
Yeah. Cause it's like we had a house, we had the cars and everything. And it's like
Stacey, we got
all of that.
Stacey, we gonna talk after this, boo, because we gotta get through with this panel. But I got you, boo. But Dr. V want to say something.
Let me say something, because as someone who was married to a man and got divorced and got remarried, y'all listen, when I tell y'all, my husband did not cheat on me with a woman, but he cheated on me every day with alcohol, right? And sometimes that's worse. Like, I could have dealt with another woman. At least I would have had somebody to direct my anger at. You know, like, but this is what I want to tell you. When we got divorced, I was determined that I would never go back. And I said this yesterday. I said I would never go back. We got remarried. I could not stand him. I need you to understand that. I couldn't stand him for real. I did not like him. I'm not just saying that. Like, I really did not like him. He did not like me. But do you know what was greater than my dislike of him? My love for God. And my desire to be obedient to God. And so what I did was I didn't respond to whether I liked him or was feeling in love with him. I responded to what God said about my destiny and my purpose in relation to him. And even his family, I couldn't stand his You couldn't stand his family. Let me just be real. I mean, they didn't like me and I didn't like them. We were equally yoked in that, okay? The one thing that we could agree on, right? And there were a lot of things that they did that damaged our marriage.
Amen.
And a part of the reason that we got divorced was his family, okay? But this is what you got to walk away with. I tell women all the time, you can get caught up in your emotions if you want to, but you better get caught up in God's plan for your life. Because God knows better than you know. He knows the end from the beginning. So what I didn't know when God told me to marry the man that I did not like and could not stand, and who frankly didn't like me because he was dogging me out on Facebook, right? But he married me. When I said, God said that I need to marry you. He said, what? I guess we can get married. He was for it, right? Yeah. Your purpose and your destiny is the key. So people can tell you all day long what you ought to do in your relationship, but God knows the end from the beginning. And if it is salvageable, God knows. What we didn't know was that our daughter was going to have a period where she ran away off and on for a year. But she had her mama and her daddy, her biological parents, there. Yeah. If her daddy had not been there, if I had been with any other man, everybody would have sworn that man had to have been touching her. Everybody would have sworn that it was my fault, that I was choosing some man over my child. God needed us to be together for that child. It was bigger than me and him. It was bigger than my feelings and my emotions and his feelings and his emotions. We got to get out of our emotions. We're too emotional. We really got to understand that God has a plan for our life. And I will promise you this, to this day, though I could not stand that man when we got married, I love me some Rick Walters with all of his flaws, baby. I love me some Rick Walters, right? And you got to understand that God is able to heal. I never would have thought that God would have healed our marriage like that. That he would have given me that love back for him. But God can restore what man messes up.
Can I add really quick to this? And,
I was going
to say, I really love their love story. I really admire your love story. But I am also a divorcee. I married my first girlfriend, married very young. I've always desired marriage. And I don't even believe in divorce, if that makes sense. I'm very anti-divorce. But I found myself marching to divorce court. 2 gorgeous daughters 12 years later, and here I am marching to divorce court. I don't know if it's everybody's testimony and necessarily state, because I was dying in there. And I was faithful. This is why when I hear stuff that men aren't faithful, I laugh. I was faithful. Completely 100% faithful. You know, and this is the mother of my girls, so there's certain things I can't say. But nonetheless, I don't know if that's everybody's testimony for restoration, but I do agree that God's plan should trump your plan.
Right.
And so certainly I do agree that you should certainly go to God. And there are times, I personally believe, this is my personal opinion, that God will release you from an individual. But there are times that God will instruct you and say restoration is what's necessary. And the key, I think, is let's go back to God and see what is God's original intent for this particular situation.
Yeah, I agree, and I think one of the things that maybe you need to do is separate the event from who he is.
Yeah.
Because right now, you don't really hate him, you hate what he did to you. So that's what you're holding on to. Every time you see him, you see what he did to you. And what they did was restore. They worked on it. You guys might need to go to counseling. Find a different counselor.
What one of the things?
Find a different counselor. Sometimes that one counselor can't give you the things that you need. I have some stuff that I can give to you after. It's some videos and stuff. Sometimes, like you said, that created an opportunity for you to see what you were doing to him. Because he couldn't tell you that you weren't making me feel good with the things that you were doing to me. So sometimes that's an opportunity. It's an unfortunate one, but it's a learning lesson for y'all to get to where you are right now. So it doesn't always mean the end of the world. It's not a good thing to do, but it doesn't always mean the end. If you really want the restoration and restoring the relationship, first of all, you guys have a different family. You keep saying his family. His family is you.
Amen.
That's his family.
He don't see it.
That's
His family is his family. My family is my family. But my family accepts him. My family cooks for him.
What you missing him saying, you and him is a family.
Just not y'all
I come in second. I come in second to his family.
You guys need to.
I come in second to his family.
No.
And that's,
Go ahead.
there's some cultural stuff that, you know, that too. That,
Yeah. Not only that, go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead.
When I said to you guys that I've been married for 4 years, I got married 48, March 9th will make me married 5 years. Can I tell you, when I married my husband, I did not love my husband.
Come on, say it. Okay.
I met my husband on my job. There was a little girl at my school. One of the teachers said that there's a little girl in my class that have needed me. Needed me? Yeah. So I go to work early, listen to the Lord, go to work, go meet this little girl. When I walk into the class, the little girl jumped up, grabbed around my legs and said, "Hello, Mom." So I said, how do I get to meet the parent so I could be some kind of assistant to this little girl? I get emotional every time I tell this story. So. And what they said, we will introduce you as a pastor and not a school board employee, so the parent won't know that you work here. I'm thinking it's going to be a single mother and not a father. Lo and behold, it's a daddy. No. So when I walk in, the guy is to meet what I thought was going to be a mother. It was a father. So when I reach out, say, "Hi, my name is Pastor Lewis. I would like to be assistant to you and your daughter." I hear God say, "That's your husband."
Oh.
And I froze. Because he was in a shelter. And all I could think, God, you don't lost your mind. Say it. What have you done to me? Mind you, 12 years back, a prophet said to me, your husband will find you busy in ministry.
Yep.
What was I doing?
Ministry.
I did not love this man. I didn't care nothing about this man. I said he smelled homeless, he looked homeless. I had raised 5 children. You do with them. I did not want that. The whole wedding day, I cried. I was crying so hard that my mom heard me over the shower. That's hard I was crying. When I tell you, this lady right here,
Yep.
have walked me through some stuff.
Yeah.
Right now today. And when you talk about purpose, God said to me, I need you to build him up. And I need you to raise this child. And I always told God, I don't want no mama drama because I'm not that kind of gal. I will cancel out of playing quick. So what he did for me, because he knew I wasn't that type of gal, there's no mama. The mama had passed away. So when I got her, she was 6 years old, on medication, all around on the carpet like an animal, tearing stuff off the wall. If you see her today, she's not that kind of gal. It was a lot of work. This baby, know them, personal. I told God I was big on teeth. When I looked at his mouth, I said, God, now what you want me to do with that? Am I lying?
No.
12 years ago, one of the sisters who I used to go to church with, I said, tell the story about how I was being on tea. She said, Pastor Lewis, when you get him, you'll buy him some tea. What did she prophesy that thing? Because I bought him some tea.
Amen.
A purpose. I thought that I had it all together. I was going to marry the man. Oh, he tall. Did I make him fine? Did I dress him from head to toe? Because if he was to walk in here, not every head in here going to turn. But he be mine.
Say that.
You know what I said? I'm 7 years older than that man. And that man served me from my head to my toe.
Amen.
Do I still struggle in my marriage? Yes, I do. Because he loved me. And I don't have those feelings. But I do what God called me to do. I called her, when she called me, I said, out. He said to me the other day, he said, you out. And God told you to marry me and to help me raise my child, and you're out. And I love you. And that thing pierced my heart.
Amen.
As if God was saying to me, you're going to walk out on your purpose. You're going to walk out on the thing that I call you to do. But one thing I tell people all the time, my marriage safeguard me. My marriage calls me to walk the walk that God has truly called me to walk. Because I couldn't do it as a single woman.
Come on, say it.
That's right.
Because when I'm out here and doing what I do, minister to God's people, all hell is released on me. So when I'm out here talking trash, big and bad, I need somebody when I go home and get in my bed that every demon that's released to me, I need a man to cover me.
Hey!
I need a man that said, honey, it's all right. So when a demon, a lust demon attack me, I need my own man to calm me.
I know that's right. Say that and rebuke that one.
So purpose. You need marriage to be in purpose. Like my baby said, 9:23. When I tell my husband, listen, I'm tired. But 3:30 in the morning, baby, do what you want. Yeah. I didn't have him 3:30 in the morning. I gotta get up and start walking the streets. Remember, I don't drive. I'm a pastor. You understand what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. It don't come like you want them. But if God has saw some things and plans, and what we forget, when we get a prophecy, we don't write it down. The Bible said write it and make it plain. And the reason why we have to write it, because we have to go back. And we forget what God says to us, because sometimes, I don't receive that. You better go back that word. That crazy person that gave you the word that you thought was so crazy, they spoke some truth in your life.
You better talk about Florida.
They spoke some truth in your life. And when she called me the other day, I said, I'm out. She said, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Child, shut up. In other words, we're cutely. She didn't say that. But see, she ain't going nowhere. And my husband simply sat on the side of the bed. And you know what God started to say to me? He said, that baby ain't went through her period. She ain't went to middle school yet. She haven't not reached 18. You know what I said to myself? You're right. So when my husband texted me just now and said, where are you at? I said, he said, you want me to come? I said, no, get yourself a nap and we're going to go out when I get home.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. So, on that, men being visual beings, right? A lot of times, last thing y'all do, not y'all, I'm not putting you all in the box, some of you, pick what you see rather than what you know you should have. I think it might have been you that said, or maybe Pastor Paul, referencing how it's not how you want it to look. Y'all want the 6'3", da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But y'all want vixens, though. So can you please help in how it is that a lot of times the women are almost in the church kind of persuaded to not think about what they may want. Come on, pencil, because he stayed pencil skirt ministry all day.
You got to be rock a pencil skirt, baby girl. You can't rock a pencil skirt. I don't know. I don't think we can make this work. Here is my thing. I do believe physical attraction, at least to me, it is very important. And I'm not telling women not to be physically attracted to who they're physically attracted to.
What I'm saying is, in addition to physical attraction, there needs to be some other qualities.
Amen.
I told y'all that I love the Jacob and Rachel story. One of the things I love about it is the authenticity there. It said that Jacob loved Rachel. He worked for her for 7 years, but here's why. The Bible said she had pretty eyes. He was attracted to the eyes. And King James put it this way, a lovely figure. We know what that means. Pencil skirt. She could rock a pencil skirt. That was his thing. That drew him. It was strictly physicality first. He was physically attracted. Leah was a good woman to that man. Gave him children. Tried to make that man. He was physically attracted to Rachel, and that's what he pursued. So attracted, so drawn to her, that the man was willing to work some 14 years just to have her. And so I'm not saying get somebody that is, you're turned off by. That's not my message.
Right.
At all. Not to women, certainly not to men. What I'm saying, in addition to physical attraction, there need to be some core qualities. And I do believe men tend to be very sight stimulated. I cannot, when I see a beautiful woman, I can't act like I just didn't see that she's beautiful. And that didn't do something to me. That didn't draw me in and make me want to get to know her. If I said that, I would be lying. And so it is initially for me. For other men, it could be different. Initially for me, it is physical attraction that draws me. If I'm not physically attracted to you, the only other way to get me is to first become my friend and let me fall in love with that personality, and then boom, then you start to look good to me. After you get to know somebody, you start, you know what, you don't look that bad. You start looking from sideways, you know what, I can work with that. But other than that, if I've met you for the first time, I'm keeping it 100. If I've met you for the very first time, I don't know you, I don't know what your personality is like, the only thing I have to work with, unfortunately, is physical attraction.
I'm a little bit different, just because based on my experiences of what I do for a living. And I've seen so many men fall into the trap that I'm actually helping out. And I fell for the trap with my first child, my son-in-law, because she was attractive, right? And I ignored a lot of different things. And we do that. We ignore a lot of different things. Y'all say, I'm the 6'3". I played on the basketball team, I was the shortest one on there. So yeah, they was looking at the 6'6", 6'7", the ones that was constantly in shape.
Hope for me. Ain't no hope for me out here. What I'm supposed to do?
So, but I think for me is, can we have a conversation? What can we talk about? I don't immediately need to know your prayer life or what you do when you're talking to God. But I can hear and I can see past what you're presenting, because at some point you got to take the makeup off. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. You have to take the makeup off. I wrote a Dear Future Wife, I want to see you without makeup. Because I want to see the real you. I want to see your heart. I have a son, so I need to know that I can have you around my son. You can't be pretty around my son, because we're going to get dirty. We're going to play around. And if I had a daughter, it'd be the same way. I want my daughter to be genuine. I don't want her to be hiding, masking who she is. I want her to be strong and powerful in who she is, not competing with the vixens, because they're made up. At this point, you can go to Dominican Republic and come back a brand new person. Exactly. So what am I really looking at? Am I looking at you or who you want me to see? And I think that's the difference for me. Of course, like when I first see you, but I think all women are beautiful, all have something to present to a man, and everybody is for someone.
I do say I can't say that I'm completely attracted to a woman until we've had a conversation. I will agree with that, because in conversation you can, and y'all know, by now I'm sure y'all figured it out, I got some issues, we got to lay hands. Oh, Pastor, all right. I'll give you a scenario. This one time I saw a young lady, I don't forget where I was shopping, but I'm in a line, she's in front of me. Dark sister, very dark chocolate young lady, and just the way she was made, I said, God, this is it. This is the word of God for my life. There is nothing else. This is the one that God has chosen for me to be with. No doubt about it. I felt something, I just shook on the inside. I thought it was God. And then she opened her mouth and I was like, oh my. No, baby girl, no. And so I think after a conversation, Only then can I determine if I'm genuinely attractive. I met this young lady one time. Oh my God, beauty is not even the word. Gorgeous, just as fine as you can be. To kind of find we just look at you like, why God? Look, that's just too much. And I had one conversation with her and I said, it's just not going to work. Nice young lady, just in the conversation I knew, this is not it. This is not a good fit. We're not compatible. This is not the route that I'm taking. It's not going to work.
For me, I mean, I have a saying that I say every time when I have the opportunity to introduce my wife. I say, if God made anything better than her, He kept it for Himself.
Right now.
And the reason why I say that is because
There goes the next meme, y'all. Go look on his page.
and the reason why I say that is because, yes, I was physically attracted to my wife. But the thing was that took my heart is that not the physical attraction that made me gravitate to her. It was how she poured into me. That's what made me physically attracted. That no matter what, just like John said, I can go to the grocery store by myself, go anywhere, and when I look and I see you beautiful women, I sit back and say,
There's mine.
that's my wife.
Amen.
Man, my wife got something better. Man, I'm at the bowling alley with my homeboy. And we bowling, and some of them saved, some of them not saved, some of them married, some not married. Like, man, look over there, that woman over there. I say, yeah, bruh, but no, bruh, my wife at the house, and she got this. And the reason why is because what she has on the inside. What she got on the inside. See, you were physically there, but the inside. I don't know if some of you was here earlier. She said, some people said, man, I want to smile like Shaquille and everything because she always smiling. But she said, baby, you don't know what it took for me to have that smile. See, you beautiful on the outside, but you going through on the inside. So if I base my relationship or base my knowledge of getting to know you because of how you look pretty on the outside and not really actually tap into the inner man, I'm going to be stuck. Yeah. Just like John said. I see this fine, beautiful being here, and then as soon as you open your mouth, the breath stink or the conversation you got, I can have a better conversation with my teenage son versus you. Because you're not mentally there. You're going through so much on the inner man that you put a mask on the physical man. So attraction is there. And you can base a relationship off of attraction. But don't get so infatuated with that attraction that you miss the person you need to be with.
Amen. That's good. So I'm going to ask this last question. I'm not quite sure exactly what the person needs. It sounds a little bit deep to me, but maybe one of you deep men of God can interpret it for me. So it says, will a man find his wife? I don't have to read the scripture. Will a man find his wife? But anyway, will a man find his wife without working in the field? Will a man find his wife without working in the field? I'm not sure exactly if she means Ruth and Boaz or.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, I mean, like you said earlier, there's a lot of different other stories in the Bible that have great love stories. But the thing of it is, I wasn't working in the field when I found Shaquille. See, I was just doing my normal thing. I was going to church, and every now and then, it was my friend that told me, hey, I got my friend over here that wants to learn how to play the keyboard. And that's how we met. First time, you don't remember first time, so I can't tell you. Keep telling people you don't remember me, so I can't tell the story.
Okay, the story is they had a women's conference at her mom's church. She was on the praise and worship team. And she told the keyboard player, I need you to play the keyboard that night. I said, okay, fine. 3 years later, I said, hey, I remember you. You was at your mama's church, and we had a keyboard. I don't remember you. That's how she said it. She was like, no, I don't remember you. Like, yeah, remember it was me, Tony, stuff. I don't remember you. Like, okay, fine then. And then we grabbed hands. I shook her hand and left. And to her mind, she's like, hold on, you just not going to address me? You say you don't remember me, so that, hello. And just kept it moving. So I wasn't really working. I was just doing the common normal thing a guy would do. When a man finds a wife, the man is finding a wife because he's walking the path of God. So God is going to show him his wife wherever he is. He could be in the grocery store, getting groceries. He could be going on a trip, ministering to another group of men. And in the midst of that, he sees a young lady that he likes, or he talks to somebody. Or he comes to the Broken Beauty Conference. And then somebody meet up. And most of the time, and normally the time, the people that God wants in your life, or the person that God wants for you, it's not going to happen the way you want it to happen. He might be working in ministry. He might not be working in ministry. You might be in ministry. You might not be in ministry. It could get down to the point where your husband is the man that changed your oil in your car. When you take your car to get an oil change. And just based on how you present yourself, based on how you show yourself, that man say, hey, I like the way you look. Can I take you out? Or hey, I like the way you do this. I take you out. And half of the time, I tell you no lie. The reason why me and Shakita still married to this day is because I take care of DJ. Even though our son is 18 years old, and we got a 10-year-old, when it comes down to it, the things of our kids, because she's just so a busy woman, and she's on the go, I don't have no problem being a stay-at-home dad. But I'm not a stay-at-home dad, but if it came down to it, I could be. But that's the thing, that's the vernacular of it, because the dynamics of it, because we are two different beings. Your husband's not going to look the way you want him to look. Tell you that right now. I'm so sorry.
Say that part. I know.
And you get so caught up in like, I want this, I want no. He's not going to look the way you want him to look. He's not going to present himself the way you want to present himself. Because if truth be told, God gave you everything you need, would you still serve him? If he gave it to you on the same time you want it, would you still love him?
Exactly.
If he provided your needs the same time you want it, would you still trust him? So why I'm going to give you a man that you want, that's 6 feet tall, light skinned, dark skinned, 7 feet tall, dark skinned, you know, he wanted when he wanted everything, and then once you got everything you want, God said, okay, you got time for me? You put your trust in this man so much you can't even see me.
Come on. No other God.
Amen.
Can I add just something? And I'm still trying to get the question. I do know there's two schools of thought theologically when it comes to finding a wife. And that is one, there's some who teach that he who finds a wife, so it is the man's job to go out and find the wife. And God doesn't necessarily, that school of thought believe God doesn't necessarily do the choosing. It is the man that does the choice, and God approves or disapproves. And then there's another school of thought that says, no, it is God himself that does the choosing, because the Bible says what God has joined together. So as though God, there's an implication there that God is the one doing the joining. So there's two schools of thought. I think if what they're ascribing to is a particular school of thought where the man does the choosing, 1. 2, it is a particular love story. And so if God spoke to them and said, this is how their love story is going to be, then for them, and I'm very careful not to make my personal experience doctrine and say, this is how it's got to be for you.
Yes.
Like, their love story is beautiful. I can't say that it's going to happen exactly like that for me. I don't play an instrument. I'm not a musician. Ain't nobody gonna act like I am a musician, but I don't play the keyboard. I'm like, nobody's gonna want me to come to their church to play no keyboard. It's not gonna be identical to that of theirs. You understand? And so there is this uniqueness about every relationship and every marriage. I think whenever we lock God into a system and one way of doing things, I think we put ourselves in a very dangerous place. It has to happen this way. It has to be that way. He has to be working in the field. I'm not sure what that means, but whatever that means. When you take God out of that and open up other possibilities that God can use. God, like he said, it could be the person that's changing your tire, your oil. It could be an individual that you meet at a conference. It could be, and I've heard this a lot, it could be a friend that you used to go to church with that you friend zoned for years and didn't see him more than a friend, and then you guys develop something. It could be somebody that's been at your church for years, that you've known for years, somebody you just met. But open up the possibility and allow God to be God. I think we shouldn't try to dictate how it's going to happen.
I got a statement to that, because there was a couple that actually got engaged based on the Broken Beauty Conference in 2016. So I have yet to see this couple identify that it was this conference, it was the brokenness that they both had experienced that brought them together. How is it, or will you say it is vital or important to the body to let them know that even in situations like this, when you mention conference, wherever you may find what God has placed for you, where that diamond is, do you think it's essential that you share your story as to how you connected and where you connected and what brought you together?
Absolutely. I think that's the issue. I think not enough people are sharing their story. And we have one group of individuals sharing their story and it all sounds alike. So people are assuming it has to be like this. But there are other individuals who have unique, beautiful stories. And that communicates it can happen for me like this too. It may not necessarily just be like that or like this, but it can happen. God can use other avenues. I've heard tons of individuals talk about how they met at a conference. It's a great conference. It's usually, based on what I've observed, usually great places where individuals meet. You said so it happened for someone at the Broken Beauty Conference. I think that's something they need to be a little bit more vocal and expressive about and tell others it was the Broken Beauty. Because somebody else may show up to a Broken Beauty Conference and maybe God, or here's, I'll take it a little further. God could be tugging into somebody's spirit to register at a Broken Beauty Conference for a particular reason. And they're like, not taking it seriously, and your testimony could be that push that, like, you know what, I hear you, God, this is confirmation. So I think it's key that people are expressive and vocal about things that God is doing in their lives.
Amen. It's good. Amen. So we're going to, I know I said that was my last question, but this is really my last question for real. Okay. So being that you guys touched on the whole wives thing, what is it, I know you're going to, obviously, you can't answer as a whole, but what is it that a man of faith looks for in a wife for real? John, I can't with you right now. I can't. What is the man looking for in a wife? And at what point in their relationship does he realize, or other than God saying yes, that, you know what, this could be my wife, but this is my wife? What is that thing then lets you know?
I guess it's, again, it's situational. A man, for me, I know my wife when I'm able to express my weaknesses, and I see that she has the strength to overcome my weaknesses. So that's what I'm praying for. I'm praying over my weakness, and she's stepping in. She's saying, "Here's your strength right here. I'm here." That's what I see as a man of faith. Is that when I'm struggling somewhere, she's strong. You know, when I'm struggling, my prayers are weak for some reason. She's holding my hand and said, "I got you."
You better be careful, Mr. IG, because somebody gonna go on there and post and say, "I am your strength," and I am.
Listen, it already happened. It already happened. I posted it. Anytime I post, it's nothing like a praying woman. My inbox is a whole bunch of prayers. But you didn't do that before I posted that. You're doing that to my name. It got to be natural, and I can see through that because I have clients in my office that are doing that, pretending. So I know what's real. I know what my prayer looks like. I know when it's answered, I know what it looks like too.
God bless you.
And that's the issue. I think many of us single brothers face that, the ones that are vocal about what they do desire. That's why I shook my head at the question. For me, understanding screams out. I've been an individual who's been so misunderstood, and for me, my future wife is someone that I would hope to be that I could be my best friend, if that makes sense. I want us to be homies. I want us to be able, I'm weird. I want somebody who understands my awkwardness, my weirdness. I want somebody that would, even we at church, I'm making fun of somebody, you understand. You're not judging me for that. You like, you see that? Like we vibe, we understand. So understanding is key for me, and of course spirituality. Because I do believe the Lord speaks to me, and sometimes, the Lord speaks to me, you understand? And so I want somebody I can share revelation with. I was reading this, and I believe the Lord shared this with me. I'm tired of talking to people, and I'm like, look, baby, I was reading this, and Moses, right? They're like, wait, is that the one with the ark? No ark. Hey, you just messed up my whole, I need you. It's real life. I'm telling you things I've actually experienced. I need somebody to get me. You gotta be here with me. So understanding for me is key. It's huge, spiritually, intellectually. Like I said, I'm weird. So 1 second, I'm like this very laid back dude. I love history. I love studying history. I love going back. Sometimes I need you to lay hands on me because I turn into a conspiracy theorist. And I'm like, did you see what they put in the food? And I watch what the hell. You know what? I'm done. I'm vegan. So I need somebody to be there that can understand, okay, you're going through your little period. Let me lay my hands on you. I need a praying woman. I need somebody that can slay demons with me. I need somebody that can speak life to me when I'm down. And because I desire to do some of that stuff. I want to pour into somebody, but I understand I'm going to have moments of vulnerability, and I need somebody with the capacity, or the ability rather, to speak back, to prophesy into me and shift certain things in my life. So I think that's, I don't know in a nutshell if we kind of covered that, but yeah, that's some of the things. There's a lot more. The list is long, but everything it's a mental list. I haven't written anything down, but it's a mental list. But everything on the list doesn't have to be met. The understanding, the pencil skirt, the prayer life. Some key things I think are important. But for every man, it's going to vary. But I think men, I'm going to say this. Everywhere I've gone, I know men look for this, and Vache mentioned it, is a safe place. A man wants to know that he can lay in your lap. This is why, and I hate to say this was the issue of Samson and Delilah. He could lay in that lap. A lot of men are stepping out and leaving even their homes, and women are trying to figure out what he want with her. I look better. I'm better at this. I make more money. Has nothing to do with looks, sweetheart. That's a safe place. He can talk to her. He can be vulnerable. And so I need somebody where I can be vulnerable. I can lay in your lap. I can be, I can open up. I can talk to you, and it's a judgment-free zone. And you can be there to minister back to me and pour to me with love. So that's key. I know every man I've ever spoken to, that's a huge thing for them. That's safety. So that's it.
Amen. So y'all heard all these men say prayer. I got prayers and notes for my future husband. Back there, y'all go purchase a copy for $15. Amen. So we thank our group. Give your panel a hand. Yes. Give it up for our man, Pastor Alfie Poole III, Vache Williams, John Montez here. Give it up. We thank you so much for being a part of the Broken Beauty experience. Amen. And so at this juncture, I believe Pastor Poole, you're going to go ahead and let us know what we're doing. Amen.
Real quick, I wanted to add to that, even though I might be married, I knew what I was looking for when I was single. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was looking for. I knew what I desired. Everything that I was looking for, everything I wanted, everything I desired was the total opposite of what God gave me. Because I'm telling you the truth. I'm real. Yeah, I was saved, but I was infatuated. And had a persona of showing people I can operate in God. But actually living the lifestyle and allow him to operate in me to pour into somebody else's life did not happen until I latched hold to this woman here. Because at the end of the day, I needed somebody that can challenge me. Somebody that can tell me who I truly am. And me being a real man, not get upset, not let my ego take hold of the best of me, not saying, oh, I'm the man, I know everything. No. God sent me somebody that can say, Algie, this is who you really are. And in order for you to be who I called you to be, some of the things she's going to tell you ain't going to like.
Come on.
Some of the things places she tell you to go, to people you talk to, you ain't going to want to talk to. Because if she does not push you, you're going to stay in that same box. So I knew what I wanted. But God sent me what I needed.
Amen.
To the point where now I can do what I called to do. So at the end of the day, I tell you this. Don't ever get to the point where you should not challenge your husband. If he's a true man of God and he hears the voice of God, he will understand whatever his wife is telling him, 9 times out of 10, it's the truth. 9 times out of 10, it will come to pass. There has never been a time where Shakita has never told me, hey, that woman over there.
Come on. Come on.
Hey, that job over there. Hey, kids over there. Oh, hey, baby, I don't think you should do that. And if I did not hear what she was saying, I wouldn't be here today. So to the point where I knew, like I said, they know what they want. And for a shout, and I pray that God gives them everything that they need. And it comes to the point where their wives challenge them, they will not be defensive with it. They will not shut them down. Because you understand, you have to really understand, you as women of God, you have the key and you have the access to open up everything your husband needs. When these men get married, they have to really understand that the access, everything that you need, everything that you want, where it's come from finances to cars to houses, is in that woman. And based on the Broken Beauty Conference, you should be to the point where, hey, I should use this as a tool. Because when I get to my husband, they taught me about soul ties. They taught me about first love. They taught me about this. So therefore, I need to make sure that I'm pouring into him.
Yes. Come on now.
Make sure I'm talking to him right.
Hey.
Make sure I'm treating him right. Because the one thing the Bible told us to do, that's why I say, a man ain't no man that can fight. Man ain't no man that can pay bills. God told the man to love your wife.
That's the word. That's the word of God.
As Christ loved the church.
That's the book.
That's it.
And gave his life
Powerful, sir.
for the church.
That's water.
And then he came right back around and told that man, your prayers will not be hindered. So if that man is loving you to the point of no return, that man is treating you to the point of no return. Yes, he will have faults. Yes, he will have mishaps. Yes, he will mess up. But if he's a true man of God, and he's showing you who God really is, please believe that man is for you. Please believe that man is there for a reason.
Come on, say it.
Please believe that is your husband, that is your boyfriend. Don't let the enemy blind you to the point where you just can't see it because you've been hurt. Don't let the enemy put this facade on that every man is the same. Don't let the enemy set you up to the point where you start listening to your girlfriend. Your girlfriend been going through so much. Why you listening to her anyway?
And ain't got no man now.
She ain't got no man now. And the man she got ain't even hers anyway.
Come on now. Come on now. Ouch.
These men have
Mind your
poured.
business, Pastor Fool. Boom.
These men have poured out, and they have shown you exactly. There's hope.
Yeah.
Please believe it. There's
Yes,
hope.
for some good men.
There is hope. At any given time, there's hope. Not only hope for you. You have to understand, yeah, we might be sitting up here giving the panel, talking to you. But at the end of the day, you are pouring into us like you have no understanding. Because you are giving us an opportunity to say what we need to say. You've given us an opportunity to speak out. You've given us an opportunity for you to understand us and us understand you. So you can really understand.
In all your giving.
Get understanding. These men have told you, hey, I'm struggling. I'm broken. Just because we might be posted in Instagram and Facebook, we go through. And because of this, we need somebody that's going to pray us through. We need somebody that's going to hold us up, hold us accountable. We need somebody that's going to tell us when we have heard since we was a boy, you ain't nothing. Baby, you everything.
Yes, God.
You don't understand.
Hallelujah.
You don't understand. There's hope. I praise God for these men.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
I trust God for these men, that He will give them their desires of their heart. And that you have learned today that at the end of the day, we are all broken. But at the end of the day, God can heal.
Hallelujah.
God can set free. God can restore. God can build up relationships.